right. Oh, there we go. How does it sound now? Can you hear me? Good. I think I can hear me. So, all right. Thank God. Okay. And there's a reason for that. So, thanks for letting me know. I went about what? I went in like 10 minutes of silence. I was like, what's going on? I was super excited. Base, it was a lot. It was 10 minutes. I was on a 10-minute rant. Long story short, I came across a musical online called Epic the Musical. And I was trying to explain the history of it, but this um it's basically this musical developed by this guy who who created it during pandemic, and he had already created something before that, and um it he because it was the pandemic, he couldn't get people physically to show up to do auditions, so he put all the auditions on TikTok. And then because people were auditioning on TikTok, and he was sharing his kind of his vision for this musical, it blew up because every person that auditioned, which was thousands of people, they would have thousands of views. So you multiply 1,000 by 1,000, and you blow up the marketing because you have inherent marketing. And so he creates, and this guy doesn't want to do a traditional Broadway. He wants to do like video game inspiration. So his music is inspired by like Final Fantasy and um, Kingdom Hearts, and you know uh, all of these video games like Undertale, where the music is very emotional. It's very it's I not wouldn't say operatic, but like it's very epic and intense. And he puts together this uh, this collection of musicians who've all auditioned, thousands of them, all competing, handpicks what he believes is the best, flies them to where he is, and literally records a 40-track 2-hour album that spans 9 sagas and 2 acts, and then it's fantastic. This guy's a really good writer. I mean, I would say he's like your Lin Manuel Miranda number 2, and he makes this beautiful thing called Epic the Musical. It's a 2-hour video. You should watch it. Um, yeah, check it out and see like what you think. Um, but yeah, I kind of did a cursory listening to it. I listened to like the first 20 seconds, 30 seconds of every track, and I mean there's bangers in there. I can immediately tell he has an ear for music. He has a really good production style, and then he picked really good like singers. Like his audition pulled some amazing singers. And so yeah, yesterday just discovering uh and that wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday, but discovering this Epic the Musical was super awesome. And then on top of that, and this might be relevant to you, Kitas, was that there were all these animators who were drawing animatics for this thing. So you can watch the 2-hour musical, and it has every song has animatics. Every single song has these keyframe animatics, and it's really well done. And I truly believe if you watch any of these things, they have millions and millions and millions of views. I think we're probably 2-3 years away from a full blown featured animation that he's probably going to condense, handpick, drill down, re-audition, right? So he's going to take the people that made his original cast. He's probably going to then open it up to other professional Broadway musicians to come in there, and he's probably going to make a full feature musical that I would believe is an animation, either CGI or 2D. I don't know, but it was a really. I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but I, from what I heard, from the pieces that I heard, they were amazing. I was truly impressed at the quality of music that was coming out of this thing. And I mean, I'm not wrong. It was number 1 on Spotify, and every time they released a saga, it just jumped to number 1 on Spotify for, I would believe, musical or Broadway or whatnot. And the whole fact that this comes from one guy who wrote the whole thing and then brought people in and had them kind of thinking it out, it made me I don't want to say jealous, right? Envious. I was really impressed, A. And then B, I guess I felt lacking. Like I could never write melodies, right? I mean, the way that he put his songs together, they were all good, and I was in awe, I guess is what I've said. Like I was in awe of how clever, how well written, and all these kind of things. Because I know what I know what my lane looks like. I can drive in my lane very well. That's fine. But to see somebody do something, when I look at a sports person like an athlete, I don't look at them at awe because I'm like I could never do what they do, right? I could never, um, run as fast or jump or sports. I don't look at myself that way. When it comes to like watching somebody make a musical, I can write, I can make lyrics, I can even write stories. I mean, I have all of these elements, and what I see this guy doing was production, music production, and then melody. And they're so good, and I'm like, I don't have the time. I will never have the time to do music production, and melody is that's the one thing that is my Achilles heel. I don't know. Maybe it's a muscle that you can train. Maybe it's something that you can practice. And you know what? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go on YouTube and I'll be like, what is like? How do you start trying to just make melodies out of your brain? Do you have to have music theory, or can you just hum that shit? Anyways, I was so impressed, and like I said, one day I want to sit down and listen to the whole thing. But if you have time, you're doing something for 2 hours and you just need something playing in the background, play Epic the Musical, listen to it. And yeah, I'm putting my hot take that in 2 years we're gonna get a full-blown animated version of this. And he'll condense it, he'll pick the best ones, he'll get Hollywood support or Broadway support to whittle down 40, or they'll do the Netflix route and he'll break it into 3 or 4 musicals, right? Based on the sagas. Maybe there are 9 musicals. Either way, I'm putting my hot take down on May 20th, 2025, that Epic the Musical will get some kind of professional release. Because right now it's obviously released professionally as an album, but I think it has the nerd core energy to be brought onto the stage like Arcane, like one of those it's kind of anime video game inspired, and I think it'll find the producer who will bring it to light, who will give it the attention it deserves, and then that'll put it on the world stage, which is the dream. So good luck to him and his project. So that was the first thing I did. Secondly, the other thing I did was I participated in a kind of a mock-up of a software that's being developed in Japan. I don't want to go into the detail because I'm not entirely sure how much I'm allowed to say, but it's basically an AI music software. It's very similar to Suno. And if you don't know what Suno is an AI software that you prompt it and it generates songs, and I use that to make my own AI album. But this company reached out to me, or at least I reached out to them, and then they got back to me, and they wanted to show me their version of what that was, and it's pretty cool. The idea is similar, that like Suno, you select the genre, you put in a prompt, maybe you suggest a BPM, and then it generates a song. The difference between Suno and this software is you actually can break down all of the layers of the song, right? So you can see the drums, you can see the melody, you can see the guitar, you can see all of the instrumentation, and then you can adjust it as necessary. So if you wanna make the drums more of a trap beat than a drill beat, you could do that. And so what I think it puts it ahead of Suno in that sense is it gives you more musical granularity and the ability to kind of change what you want. And then the second half of that is the way to it kind of brings that to the beat to the collaborator in the sense that you can like register to be a vocalist or a rapper or whatever on the other side. And yeah, it just is a marriage of making the music and then finding the artist. And I think it's a cool idea. Like I said, I'm not going to give a name of the software, but it was a really cool thing to meet with these folks, to hear what they've developed, to see what they're building, and to be part of the process. And I hope that, with every iteration that they generate, I get to learn more and I get to try it out, and so it'll be exciting. Anyways, so yeah, so that's what I did last night, and ultimately, I was really busy yesterday. Yesterday, I was incredibly productive, and that was amazing. I did a lot of garage work. I did the laundry, and I don't know about you, but laundry can be this. It could be an obstacle because it's not hard to do, but it is kind of time consuming and not in a fun way. So, and it's not that important. Like your world doesn't explode when you don't do laundry, and that's why I can see it being this weird. It falls into this category of something that must be done, but doesn't have to be done. But if you want to devote time to it, it's going to take time. Like it has it's like kind of like weight loss, right? It's you don't really love what's required in order to make it happen. Um, and if you don't do anything, you're not going to get punished for it, right? For laundry, at least. Anyways, yesterday was very productive. Today, once again, is another day where I hope to get a lot more stuff done. So let's go through the updates. It's almost 9 o'clock. I've wasted 10 minutes just talking into silence, which kind of makes me sad. But that's okay. It's not like I said anything of value. I did more garage work yesterday, which is fantastic. So it's a lot nicer. Garden's not my thing. Health. So yeah, I did a walk yesterday. Today I'm gonna try the light OPM just to get my muscles moving again. Yep, focused on cardio, and week 1 stabilize, reduce carbs. Yep, start intermittent fasting. So I did noon to 7. No more added sugars. Yeah, I did not eat anything outside of my meal times that had added sugar. So no snacks. 3 adjusted OPM warrior. Like I said, I'm gonna try that out today. Get a couple things in. 2 burst workouts. Yep, we got the rest of the week to figure this out. So I got a lot of things to do on week 1. So yeah, that's my health. Focusing more on that. Jobs applied. I got a notification that I could apply for another mock jury, but then there was a note that said if you've done a mock jury before, you are not eligible for another one, which is weird because isn't that how being a juror works? You become a juror and then you go and you juror again. And I guess whoever these mock trial people don't want the same people coming back. I don't know. Yeah, nothing with the epicenter video resume. I really should start doing the storyboard. It is odd, yeah. It's not a big deal, but at the same time, like, I would love to be able to go back and do that again. But it sounds like once you do it once, that's it. But yeah, that's super weird. Okay, and then projects, World's concert. Yeah, I really am getting frustrated because I would like to make more moves on this, but I feel like the people that I want to work with aren't responsive. And that bugs me a little bit because maybe I don't use them. I don't know. I really need to kind of get this. I need to get that first meeting out of the way because if people aren't responding, if people are slow, if people don't care, I don't know if I want to work with them, Yeah, I know. I'll talk to Cal, but the people that I have on my list of help, their contacts and their ability to help have so much weight and value that I want to have them on, but their inability to respond to me in a timely manner also makes me wonder if they're like some of the reasons why it doesn't work, But once again, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to let time go by, and you know, if this doesn't work out, once again, it makes me realize that I have to rely on myself to do things, you know? And if it turns out that I can't rely on other people and I just have to put the whole thing on my shoulders, then so be it, right? Um, Not yet. I haven't written the camera script yet. So I will have that day available. I'll let you know. I know you're heading out in June, so I'll make sure that we can do the camera work probably, you know, in the next 2 weeks or so. Um, Yep, and then tomorrow's improv, which once again, it's there's so many projects and there's so little time really. Maybe if I can just focus some time on this, I can get something done and not feel like I'm completely worthless. And you know, it's all about getting those deadlines and picking the things that you want to do, and sometimes that paralysis of too many projects can kind of lock you in a spot. But you know, yesterday was Monday and I was very productive. Today I have to do my best. I really absolutely do. So yeah, Kitas, I will have a day for you. I'll give you some days options for the camera stuff, and then and you let me know what's good for you. But you know what? Let's do this. Let's do notes. Okay. So I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But I did that, so I can complete that. I did this a little bit, so I do need to get a photo. But you know what? So I still have to work on shooting script, and I have to work on the sketch. Okay, so that's it. And then, you know, health shit. Not like I have to take a shit that's healthy, but I have to do health-related shit. Okay, that's it. I got a lot of stuff to do, so I'll do a little sub note here to let Kitas know about camera stuff. Okay? But yeah, I got a lot of stuff to work on, and I think yesterday I spent it doing other things. Today is the day that I gotta put all this stuff in here. I gotta just work on it and do it. Okay, well, thank you guys so much, Kitas. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for everybody else who kind of is quietly listening in on this. I appreciate you, but yeah, have a great Tuesday, and we hopefully, fingers crossed. You know, I need your good energy. I want to be able to make a lot of these things move forward for tomorrow. And yeah, you too, Kitas. Have a good day. Hopefully, it's productive. Thanks for tuning in. This is Melzworld Live, and there you go. We'll see you tomorrow.